Yes, so this week I am very excited to introduce our featured presenter. Stephanie is most proud of her children and specifically being and living in the moment with them. I want to take a real quick moment this morning to just highlight an experience that I have with Steph and her family at the Making Strides event a few weeks ago. This was a 5K walk. And when I say walk, I mean it was a walk. It was difficult to navigate and weave through people because it was a walk, not necessarily a run. There were some people running, but at one point, AJ and I were walking and talking, and we looked over and we saw Steph and her daughter weaving and running through the crowd. At first, I was kind of like, oh, maybe they have to go to the bathroom, but hopefully there's nothing wrong. And then later, when I asked her, she said that her daughter said, I want to win this race, Mom. So if that's not living in the moment, I don't know with her kiddo, I don't know what is. Some of Steph's other hobbies include, many of us may know, scuba diving, swimming with sharks. She also mentioned cleaning house, running and hiking. And in fact, she's ran a few different marathons, about a dozen half marathons, and even 3 Ragnar races, one of which she had a 3-month-old at. So super outdoorsy, as we all know. She's hoping to one day soon get involved in sailing, but that will likely come when her kids are a little bit more independent. And of course, after her family buys a sailboat. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce you all to Stephanie Levine with Neo Home Loans as she presents on affordability, the biggest challenge in real estate today. Steph, the floor is yours, and I'll give you a 2-minute warning.
I love your introductions, Whitney. I couldn't have said it better myself. So thank you for sharing all those things. Well, good morning, BNI. I am Stephanie Levine. I am a mortgage advisor. I'm a certified liability advisor, certified divorce lending professional, and a certified mortgage planning specialist. I love continued education, and just because I have my mortgage license or anybody has a mortgage license doesn't mean they know what they're doing and how to give you good advice. So I take it the extra step to continue my education and fill my brain with more knowledge. So I help families and investors obtain financing to purchase residential real estate. Before I dive into the glorious mortgage information, this is my beautiful family who I spend so much time with. This picture up on the left, we went to Bend last month to go to the Kids Bop Kids concert. We did a mud run earlier this summer. And then my kids stole my phone on a beach in Maui the same week the fire started in Lahaina. Super sad, but we were able to enjoy it and have some really recent memories before it will all change forever. All right. So here we go. Let's paint a picture for you. It's summer 2021. Interest rates are at an all-time low, and the cost of homes is increasing faster than we've ever seen. There's a line at the door waiting to get into an open house. There's 20 other families looking at the same home you are, and you have 15 minutes to make a decision if this house is right for you and your family. Can you picture yourself living there? Can you picture your friends and family here celebrating the holidays with you? You look out the window to the backyard, you see the big tree with a swing. Can you picture it? Is this house right for you? You have 15 minutes to make a decision if this is right for you. And there's 10 other people probably breathing down your neck, trying to move out of the way to look at all the pieces. And you have 15 minutes to decide if this is the house for you. For some families, that felt like the train was moving too fast and they'd never have an opportunity to jump on it. The train wasn't stopping to wait for you at the train station. It just kept zooming past. Let's fast forward to today. Rates are at 7 to 8%, higher than 8%. And interest rates are at a 23-year high. And media outlets are instilling fear that we shouldn't buy, that the crash is coming. But now, imagine going to look at a house. You can walk into the house. You can go to sleep at night. You can think about that house. Can you picture your memories growing in this house? What if you went back at nighttime to see the house at a different time of day, different day of the week? There are so many stories in the market today. And some of those stories still include houses going on the market and selling and pending in less than a week. And then there's the stories of homes sitting on the market for 30 days, buyers getting great deals, closing costs covered by the seller. Did you know the seller can contribute money towards the first 2 years of your mortgage payment? The train is slowing down and it's allowing people to get on. So this is the big question. What do you think will happen if rates hit 5%? Over the last 81 years in real estate performance, real estate has had a 90% win rate, meaning real estate goes up 90% of the time. And this chart is broken out by decade to show cumulative appreciation decade by decade. The big takeaway here is even in this really scary time of a recession at the end of the 2000s, appreciation for that decade was 66%. And if you held on to that property through the 2010s, your property still appreciated 45%. Does this surprise you? All right, let's put some things into perspective. First, it is very highly unlikely mortgage rates will ever fall back to 3% anytime soon, if ever. And when mortgage rates hit a record low of 2.65% in January 2021, it was because the Federal Reserve had artificially pushed them down by purchasing trillions of mortgage-backed securities and lowering the Fed's fund rate to nearly zero. These borrowing costs, combined with the massive amounts of stimulus that were pumped into the economy during the pandemic, are what led to this massive inflation and mortgage rates nearly tripling their record lows. Long story short, we probably won't see mortgage rates go back to 3%, but that doesn't mean they need to stay at 8% either. All right, let's make this interactive. What is the principal and interest payment on a loan amount of $450 with a 3.5% interest rate? Put in the chat. Take your best guess. And I'm going to open the chat because I want to see 3,200, AJ says. On a 30-year. 2,500. 2,400. All right, here we go. On a 30-year fixed mortgage at a loan amount of $450 with a 3.5% interest rate, the monthly principal and interest is $2,020. Same scenario with an interest rate at 7.5%. What do you think that does to your payment? Any answers? Good guess, Kiahi. Somebody pulled out a calculator. All right, 3,146. Does that surprise you? That's an increase of $1,126 to your payment in about a 7-month period. So that's a 55% increase to your housing payment in less than a year. That's shocking, it's bonkers, but we needed this to happen. Housing prices went up at a rapid pace, and the Fed's increasing the Fed fund rate is doing the work it was supposed to do. Home prices are slowing down and in some instances declining. Inventory is almost at 3 months, which makes us headed towards a healthy and balanced market. As it stands right now, the general consensus is for mortgage rates to be in the 5 to 6% range for 2024. So should I wait to buy for rates to drop? I believe you plan the purchase of a home around your personal economics, not around what rates are doing. Maybe you buy a smaller house. Maybe you buy in a different neighborhood in order to find the right payment, but you need to do what's right for yourself in your personal economy. Because the choice is really yours to purchase today or to wait a year. But if you buy today at the $450 and the payment's $3,146, if you wait a year, your acquisition cost, the cost of that same home is going to go up over $25,000. So do you pay $100 more a month to save $25,000 on your purchase price? That's for you to decide. All right, this is a little trick we do. I have a client that we're in the middle of a deal right now, and he's purchasing a home around $450. His goal was to have a mortgage payment under $3,000. We reviewed his budget together over the next 3 years. He has a car payment with 6 payments left on it. He has a kid in preschool that he's paying child care for and will go into kindergarten next year. He also receives a salary increase between 1 to 3% each year. So while he's qualified for this higher payment, he's not comfortable spending that right now. So we planned his budget, and this program allows the seller to subsidize the monthly payment for the first 2 years. So the example is the seller contributes $10,000 to reduce his monthly payment. The first year, the interest rate's 2% lower than the note rate. And the second year, it's 1% lower to give him some time to build up to that. And ideally, you never get to that third year payment to take advantage of a refi. But the good news, he's prepared for that full payment should he not have any other options. Appreciation is still expected to happen. In Multnomah County, it's expected to appreciate on average 6% each year. So you can see the cost of homes are expected to continue to rise. So what will happen when rates drop to 5%? What will happen to the demand in the market? What will happen to home prices? Everybody's sitting on their couch waiting for it to drop to 5%. And we're going to be right back where we were in 2001, where the train isn't going to slow down to let you get on. So for those who are interested, 2 minutes.
Yep.
You got it. I got like 30 seconds. Well, this is the question that I ask everybody. So if you want to wait for rates to drop, that's what everyone else is doing. But when you want to really take opportunity in the market, you need to do where the crowd is not going. I think Wayne Gretzky might have said this best: skate to where the puck is going, not where it has been, because you're going to be left in the market back in the trying to figure out how to get on again. So who is this market good for? Because those numbers are bonkers, but who is the market good for? I believe this is a great market for first-time homebuyers that can't afford a higher payment, people who are relocating because their job's relocating them, people going through divorce don't have as many options because their housing is changing, and investors. There's a lot of great deals with low acquisition costs to get into a home. And that's my presentation.